Hello, everyone. Welcome back to episode 3 of Forbidden Radio. I am here with my co host Noah and our guest Seth.
Yo, what's up? It's me, Seth.
Yeah, Seth is one of our
Hi,
writers.
everyone.
He writes with us. He's on the team that we've now apparently been dubbed the originators. So
Yeah, we got a new name.
Yeah,
it's
Forbidden Origins originators, like Imagineers,
I know I didn't never
like
thought
the
of it like
Nine Old
that.
Men, like everything. Yeah,
The Marvel bullpen.
Yeah, I
yeah,
like
We're a 6-man elite unit.
it.
yeah. Hopefully, it will expand soon because that's been Armani and Eric's dream. Is that this
Yeah.
will continue to grow? Originators would also probably include artists too that are working with
Yes.
us, not just us
Oh, yeah.
six.
So it's 7.
So, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Q2, I guess. So 8. And then
Yeah.
the founders. So that's
8 of
10.
us.
That's 10. That's 10.
Okay.
I think Armani's girlfriend emailed me too when I first got recruited, so she
so
must
that's
be a member
11.
as well.
That's 11.
Yeah, it's a pretty big team, honestly.
Yeah, it is. So guys, so what's coming out next week?
Echoes of the old universe.
Next week. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm totally not
February
dating the
26th.
podcast. I'm totally not dating the podcast by saying that.
Yeah.
Book 1.5 of the old universe.
Yes, sir.
How are we feeling?
Yeah, how are you feeling, Seth?
I feel pretty excited. This is be the first book I've ever been published in. I was gonna say in a long time, and I'm like, I've never been published before. Like, what the fuck am I talking about? But yeah, no, this will be pretty rad. I got 2 stories in there. Everybody else has minimum 2 stories. There are like some people out there like blasting stories into that thing. Like Dylan, I think
Yeah.
like 5 or something.
Oh yeah,
I
Dylan was
know,
cranking
dude,
them out.
that's
Man.
insane. I
Yeah,
felt
he
like
would be
I
like,
wasn't
guys, I'm
doing enough.
working on another one.
Oh, Seth, you're working on a comic for right? Like we don't have to give away too much, but you're working on a comic, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's a prequel comic. It's based on my short story, the last entry of the legendary Asher Kells.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be a prequel comic of like Asher Kells, who's like this thief, like Han Solo type character.
Mhm.
But it'll be like their origins and it'll be a decent comic to like get you into like the underworld of the old universe, which is which I'm pretty excited for because like I know a lot of like sci-fi likes to center around like big like massive events in like the sci-fi world. Like these books will end with the universe ending, but like I think it's also interesting to see like the smaller side of the universe, which is like kind of what both of my short stories are about.
Mhm.
Like I wanted to focus on like the either the underworld or like lower class people in the universe because like Empire tends to be like vast and like all encompassing. Like it takes over every aspect of your like of every aspect of life,
Mhm.
every aspect of society. So it's I
Yeah.
think it's interesting to like view the universe from like a smaller lens, you know.
Have you always
Yeah,
been
I'm really
drawn?
excited
Oh,
for that comic.
sorry. I'm sorry,
I was
Angel. We keep
it's
talking
fine.
over each other.
Yeah. I was just saying, I'm really excited for that comic because your story was one of my favorites.
Same.
Oh, thank you, thank
Yeah, it
you.
was really good.
I enjoyed that one too. I enjoyed writing that one too. But I think I actually had more fun writing the other one I had, which was the heart of old Skyview.
Well, but you give us a
Just
rundown
because that,
on your 2 stories.
yeah. So the first one I got in there is actually a sequel to Dylan's story, "Serve the Black Palace,"
Mm-hmm.
and it's kind of like that story is about a soldier, like a, basically a kid, like joining the military, the Black Palace, and this is about his father, who's like an old universe, who's a baker in the old universe and like the planet Miero. Uh, Things aren't going well because the world kind of sucks. The whole universe kind of sucks. People are fucking broke and shit. So that's what I wanted to focus on in that story, and uh, I enjoyed writing that one quite a bit. I think I that one it took me like forever to write because I wanted to get like every aspect of it down before I even like hit pen to paper, you know. But Asher Kells was like the complete opposite experience. It was like I was very meticulous with the Baker story, the Heart of Old Skyview, but with Asher Kells, it was just like a stream of consciousness. Like I'm just writing blah 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 blah. So very different writing styles for both stories.
That's really cool. Get to see two different ways of writing in the same book. I think they both came out
Yeah,
great though.
I agree. I really
yeah,
enjoyed
thank you.
Asher Kills. I actually really want to see that comic now. Read that
Yeah.
comic now because that character, like you said, is very Han Solo.
Well, I'm working on that with Kareem, who's one of the artists, and he already sketched the first issue,
Yeah.
so
Ooh.
that one's pretty close to being completed. Like I already, like tonight, actually, I just finished storyboarding the second issue, and I sent that over
Wow.
to him. So we're steadily working through that thing. So we are planning. I don't know how I don't know. They didn't restrict me on anything. So, you see, I kind of want this to be like a 6 issue like storyline. That way, like 6 individual issues, they can all be combined into like one volume,
Mm-hmm.
basically one complete storyline. So I think uh, that's where these 6 issues are going to go. I also wanted like this, like it's not titled Asher Kells, so I kind of want it to also kind of be anthology that like any of us could write in. You know,
Oh,
like if
okay.
they have a
Mm.
story about the underworld, they can like jump in and do like their own storylines or whatever. Like, and I think that's kind of fitting for something like Forbidden Origins, which is from the ground up built with collaboration in mind.
Yeah.
Like it started with 2 people, not just one person. So
Mm-hmm.
like, I feel like this whole universe and like this whole project that we're all a part of does really well with collaboration. You know.
Yeah. No, I feel that that's the vibe that I've always gotten from Forbidden Origins. And so, did you discover Forbidden Origins on TikTok?
Yeah, I think most of us did, right? Like we
Yeah,
we
I
saw
think we
that
pretty
one
much all
video.
did.
The one video I saw is like Armani like thirst post.
Yeah. Yeah.
It looks he was looking like all pouty towards the camera. He's like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, guess what? Just me and a friend made a universe."
Yeah.
I'm
Huh?
like, oh, I was like, yeah, you know what? Like, cause that'll be something I'll do like every once in a while. Like I used to like write professionally for like marketing, and then like I kind of just fell out of writing.
Mm-hmm.
But then like once a year, I'll like get the urge to like get back into like artful like writing again. So like
Mm-hmm.
I'll scour websites, see like what small projects people have cooking, and like for the most part, like none of them really pan out that well.
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody's like super excited, like, oh, we want to do this thing, we want to do this thing, and then like I start doing it, but then like things just take forever, and like nobody's really organized or anything, and then like nothing happens of it. So this is like very interesting. Like I did that on a whim last year, and within 6 months, a book is coming out, which is insane.
Yeah, I was honestly
Like we all
really
met each other
fast.
6 months ago, and then we wrote a whole fucking book.
Right?
Yeah, everything happened so fast, but I think that's the best way for it to go because otherwise, like you said, it would have just kept getting delayed. Maybe people would have dropped out, which some people did.
Yes.
Which that's going to happen because
Yeah,
some people uh, like lives get in the way. Like uh, these past few years have been hard on everybody.
Yes.
yeah.
So like no doubt, like some people are just not going to be able to be a part of this. Just because like life kind of sucks sometimes.
So, what would you say really influenced your writing growing up?
Ooh, probably comic books and video games.
Mm-hmm.
Metal Gear Solid is a big fucking influence for me.
I could see that.
Like Kojima in general.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Another thing, like I think my first comic I got was Spider-Man 2000. That was the name of the comic,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just a regular Spider-Man issue that just put 2000 on it. because it was getting close to the year 2000.
Yeah.
But like, I don't remember shit about that comic, but like, I was looking through it, I'm like, yo, this shit's fucking rad, bro. Like, like all the like Spider-Man's getting punched by an assassin or something. And so I think like, I don't know, just a bunch of comics and video games, I would say. It's like I dropped out of comics for a while. Like when I was getting a bit older, like I was entering middle school, and I'm like, comics are for little boys. I don't want none of that. And then like a few years later, like picking up a copy of Sandman by Neil Gaiman,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh yeah, the fucking Sandman sick. It's yeah, probably Neil Gaiman's I would say an inspiration as well, like in
Neil
terms
Gaiman's
of my
great.
writing.
Yeah.
Yeah, fan
So
like Sandman, my favorite comic.
you're more of a comic guy rather than a book guy, right?
Yeah, I mean, like I went to school uh, for writing, I guess. So like there was
Oh,
a
okay.
period where I was reading 7 novels a week,
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
but yeah, it was like 7 novels a week for like 2 years
That's
straight.
crazy.
And so like I've read a lot of books, and
Yeah.
but I do tend to prefer comic books over normal, mostly like fiction. Like I don't like reading fiction that much, like in novel form, but I will read nonfiction in like
Oh,
that
okay.
format, which
Yeah,
I
that's
find
fair.
more fascinating. Like yeah, so like you kind of like pull from a bit of everything
Of course. Yeah.
because you don't want to like limit your artistic ability. So like I've also gone to school for like playwriting and screenwriting. Like I've taken classes for all that as well. So
That's really cool. I did not know that about you.
No. Yeah. So why 6 episodes? Why 6 issues? Like it's basically giving me mini. It's giving me mini series vibes. The comic that you're working on.
well, typically like a volume will be somewhere between 5 and 6 issues.
Mm-hmm.
And like when I was working on like the story, I was thinking of like certain story beats
Mm-hmm.
that I wanted, and I was thinking like, okay, which beats would be enough to fill a comic, and
Mm-hmm.
which beats would be like just parts of a story.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like, I was like working through the comic, and I'm like thinking, okay, this beat would make sense here, and this beat would make sense here, and in order to tell like that full story, it would probably have to be 6 issues ish. So like I started from like how long, not from how long the story is, but like from how much story there is in this little arc, and going like, okay, that can be 6 issues.
Okay. Yeah. Cause so I'm working on a comic right now for of course for Forbidden Origins, and it's gonna be like a single. It's gonna be a one shot. It's gonna be 8 pages. It's gonna be about the Voyax, the super soldiers that we've talked about. And
Yeah,
I was like thinking
you
too,
said
like
8 pages or 80?
8. I'm shooting for like an
Oh
eight
wow,
page one shot, something like short and sweet. Um,
Okay.
damn, that could
but
be tough.
yeah, I know.
I think you got it though.
I might have to expand it. I'm probably going to have to expand it given what the plot of what I'm looking at right now. Um, but I was thinking for the future, right? Because for everyone here is I think is going to try and publish at least some personal stories through Forbidden Origins at least like once.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
so I was thinking of the future because I want my content to be basically comics. And
Okay.
yeah,
the way I want to do it, I don't want to do like a monthly series or like a weekly run. I want to do like basically graphic novels as each like release. You know what I'm saying? Um,
yeah, and that makes sense because like there are comic book publishers that do that. Like I think Boom,
mm-hmm,
Dark Horse, like they just put out straight up volumes instead. Like even the big two,
mm-hmm.
they'll like go like, here's a Division book. That's like a fucking volume.
Yes. And I was wondering like what you thought of that, of like putting out a full volume rather than doing like a monthly run or like a weekly run.
I think it depends on the story you want to tell.
Mm-hmm.
For like Asher Kells, like I could, if I wanted to, make that a weekly thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also like just a manpower thing. Like
Mm-hmm.
right now, like you said, there's like 11 of us originators.
Mm-hmm.
There's like one artist basically, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so like I don't want to kill Kareem.
Same.
Basically.
I've
So
talked
like
to I've talked to Eric and Armani about it, and they're like, "Well, he seems very receptive to doing all kinds of work because that's what he went to school for and what he wants to do." But like in the back of my head, I'm like, "Yeah, but I know how artists like it's time consuming. It's like it is work. It's hard work. My dad's an artist. Like sometimes making one like picture can take a while because like if you're doing it traditionally, your hand gets sore, and even if you're doing it on like screen, like you're staring at a screen for a while. You know what I'm saying? So it is
yeah.
tiring. You know."
Yeah, and like Kareem can work like really quickly. Like Kareem can pump that that
Yeah.
shit out. Like we have weekly meetings, and he's like, "Here's 10 pages. Here's 10 pages." Like, oh, okay,
Wow.
but like it's still if there's like four of us that want to do comics, then we have to keep going to Kareem. Like
Mm-hmm.
he is just going to die. So like I want to. I'm gonna do my 6 and then like work on another thing
Mm-hmm.
uh, after that, and maybe we'll have more artists by then. Maybe it'll still be Kareem.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of depends. So right now it's like playing it by ear, I would
Yeah.
say. So it would probably be better right now to do it by volume,
Yeah.
or at least like a mini series
Mm-hmm.
rather than like a weekly thing, just because of the manpower we have.
I know. That's what I was trying to take into account.
Yeah.
That's also why I
Speaking
think.
of
Yeah.
Oh, good. Go ahead, Angel.
speaking of manpower and artists, if you are an artist or even a writer and you're interested in working with us, becoming part of the team, go to the Forbidden Origins website. Uh, I think you can find their email on there.
Mm-hmm.
Hit them up. Send over a portfolio or something. We'll check it out.
Yeah, they're constantly looking. So like they're not like actively like posting videos like when we found it, but I think they're open to pretty much anybody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're looking for a little aggressive expansion. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
keep in mind we're not profitable right now, so this is
Yeah.
mainly it's for the love of the game.
Yeah, it's more of a passion project than
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
Um.
To be fair, they do pay their artists. I'm not sure what the rate is, but like they are
Yes.
paying Kareem
Yes.
Right.
right now, which that makes more sense
Mm-hmm.
considering the time it takes to write versus the time it takes to draw.
Exactly.
Yeah. And the
It-
skill, I guess, involved.
I'm not gonna get
True.
into a
No,
drawing versus writing skill argument because I feel like they're both on par, but like I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah,
I mean
I
like
don't
they're
know.
just
To me,
different. It
yeah,
takes
it's a
different
very
things
different
basically,
skill
really.
set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seth, where do you see yourself going with Forbidden Origins?
Uh, there is one other story. There's at least one other story I really want to tell, which is like you've probably seen me talk about it in the chat, like the racing thing, which will
Yes.
touch on AI and like uh Miero's like history and like the history of Itaran colonialization. Like I do want to tell that story, and I'm thinking of like that maybe the end of this year, beginning of next. Uh, I I joined up like when they were like looking for writers. They're like send us a thing, so I sent them like an issue of a comic I did,
Mhm.
and like I want to go back to that uh, comic, and I think it would be cool to do it through Forbidden Origins. Uh, there's also I was talking to Armani about this, and like you know how we wrote Echoes in like 6 months.
Yeah.
Like he's going to do another Echoes after the second book comes out.
Mm-hmm.
So like we have a lot more time to work on that book.
Yeah.
And so I think that'll be fun to do too.
I had an idea. I want to run it by you two, see what you guys think.
Shoot it our way.
I was thinking about approaching Eric. I mean, they're gonna hear this once they listen to the podcast, but whatever.
Yeah.
Basically, I want to approach them about maybe all of us working on another compilation book that's not Echoes, where it's basically like a writing sample of our personal stories. Doesn't have to be something that we've had in the bank for a while. It could just be something we make up on the spot for the book, but like putting out like an anthology book, basically. Different
Ooh.
universes, different genres. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you
think that
know
could be
what?
really
It's
cool.
cool. Like I go to comic book shops every once in a while, and like on Free Comic Book Day, like all the publishers will basically do that.
Yeah.
They'll like have a comic you can buy, and that's like one issue from like each comic they're running.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
So like it'll be a volume of that. So I think that'll be a cool idea if like we're having It's like, hey, check out all these people's like samples,
Yeah,
essentially.
it's like a showcase.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's really
that'd
cool.
be
And I
pretty
like
cool.
anthologies stuff like Love Death Robots,
Yeah,
Black Mirror, that type of stuff.
that's what I was thinking, but in
Yeah.
like book format, basically.
Yeah, I think that could really work.
Yeah, that'd be rad. I'd be down for that.
What
Star Wars does that too, so like, yeah, that'd be
Oh yeah,
cool.
yeah, Visions. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah, Visions, but also like their short story collections and stuff like that.
that's true. Seth, like, you want to drop any little hints on what that comic you want to continue with Forbidden Origins would be about?
So I do have the first issue out on Webtoons, I think. Yeah, Webtoons. So it's about this woman, like her name's Trish. Her husband gets murdered by demons. Uh, when that happens, she like makes a deal with like a demon to like basically get super strong and kick demon ass. So it's kind of like based on not based on it's like inspired by like Devil May Cry
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. Uh, Also a little bit of John Constantine in there as well. So it's like I'm interested in going back to that. Like I've decided to rewrite that first issue. Uh, it would be cool to like have that added to like the superhero universe that I think is going to happen post old universe stuff. Maybe don't quote me on that.
Yeah, no, that's
Uh,
that's the plan.
yeah, so like I think that would be cool to have her be like the John Constantine of that universe, essentially.
I like that.
Yeah. And where could we find this? You said on Webtoons? What is it called?
On Webtoons, it's called Violet Eyes. I think
Violet
Oh,
Eyes.
that yeah,
I'm
yeah,
going
yeah.
to restructure it from the. Yeah, I think I'm going to restructure that from the ground up. Maybe change the title.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, some stuff happened behind the scenes on that one, so like I kind of just want to rebuild it from the ground up. So,
I'm sure you have like different like ideas to redo things over, right? Stuff like that too.
yeah, for sure.
Clean slate.
I think everybody does. Like after something comes out, they're like, "Oh man, I could have completely done something else
Yeah,
there."
always that
But
hindsight where it's like, oh, I wish I had done this instead.
Mm. That's why I like certain adaptations. For instance, like The Walking Dead. I forgot the guy who wrote it, but he was able to use the TV show to like change up things that he did in the comic.
Yeah.
yeah, he's the Kirkman. He's doing the
Kirkman,
same
yeah,
with Invincible. Like Invincible's
exactly.
kind of doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, I told Angel that Invincible gave me hope for like superhero stories outside of Marvel and DC to get big. You know?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Because like they have like superhero universe aside from the big two, like they have the problem of like feeling like knockoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, oh, that's just Batman. Oh, that's just Superman. Oh, that's just Spider Man.
Yeah. Everything
But
feels like a
Invincible kind of
copy.
gets away with it, I think, because of the tone of that comic as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. That definitely helps.
Yeah, it does. Like the boys, they have that problem too, but they also get away with it because once again, like you said, the tone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's like
Yeah.
straight up just a parody
Mm-hmm.
of
Yeah, that's true.
Just making fun of it.
started as DC, but now like the MCU. But like it's straight up just like a fuck you to those. So
Yeah.
that's how that gets in there. And like so, the comparisons are like welcome to like, yeah, I'm Superman and fuck you.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, no, I think it'd be really cool if we were able to do our own superhero universe. I feel like there's a lot we could do, play around with it.
I know I'm not gonna, like I said, you know, because this is probably gonna be like 5 years down the line that it's gonna
Yeah,
have
yeah.
something to do with like how the old universe turns out. Um, but I am anxious to see how that's gonna go because I think like my superhero universe is basically gonna run concurrent with that one, and I know that there are plans to do like little crossovers with that. Um,
yeah.
and honestly, I was curious, Seth, like who are there any writers here that you want to work with in the future, like on like collab one on one with on like a project?
Ooh. I feel like it'd be fun to just do that with everybody. To just kind of like you're like, okay, we got one with this guy, and I'll do another one with this guy, and I'll do another one. So I feel like that'd be a fun way. Like, I guess I kind of did that with Dylan because I wouldn't have had my Skyview story without his story. But like,
Yeah.
I think the point is that eventually we'll probably end up crossing paths on something, right?
Yeah, right. That's kind of the whole point of Forbidden Origins is collaborations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially as the universe grows and like, uh, I do mention Dylan a lot, and that's because like I guess a lot of our ideas come from like similar places. Because like when Armani asked me to describe like the underworld, Dylan like took a lot of those aspects and put it into like his own story. And
Oh,
so
okay.
like I guess we're already like taken and giving and taken from each other. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think that's
Yeah,
really cool. I like that dynamic between you guys' stories.
I know we're already referencing each other in stories that we're writing.
yeah. I think Armani's like the most excited because he's like, I'm just gonna put this in like book 3, and I'm gonna put this in like
Yeah.
book 4.
Yeah,
Yeah, Armani's the lore guy.
he's like a kid in a candy shop. He's like
Yeah.
he just wants more and more and more. I
Or
get
was
it
it he
though.
decided?
It's like I get it because like
he
he worked on this. He created this when he was like 12 or something.
Yeah.
And then now people are expanding on it and he's like really digging how we're expanding on it. So like I think I would feel the same thing too if you guys worked on like my superhero story and we're doing expansions, you know? So
Yeah, you're right. This is like his life's
Yeah,
dream.
that's like rad because like it feels like you know how awesome it would be if like people did like fan works of our of the works we make.
Yeah.
Like you know how sick that would be.
I think that'll happen.
Like you just like scrolling Twitter and then you see like your character like on Twitter and you're like, what the fuck is he doing?
That'd be
Kind
so cool. I think that's one of my biggest like hopes for just any of my works is like to for it to get to the point where people like it so much that there's like fan arts or like fan fictions and stuff.
kind of
Yeah.
rule 34 art is that?
Okay, not like that.
That's how you know
What are
we
you
made it.
doing?
That's how you know we made it.
I guess, yeah.
Blender
The All
porn of
Father is now the All Daddy.
Oh my god, all father blender porn? Jesus Christ.
All Zaddy.
The all daddy.
I,
Oh my god, that's awesome. I can't wait to see that. It's gonna be great.
yeah, I bet Armani will make it first. So.
Oh,
Yeah,
something
actually,
tells
yeah.
me he already has.
Yeah, there's already some
There's
hidden
something out there.
folder on his computer.
Eric's like, please stop. You gotta stop.
And Armani's just sitting there, his eyes all like red and bloodshot, like never.
Up all night, just working on it.
Seth, what are your fears with Echoes? Like, what's your fear? Like, is it people not liking your story, like specifically stories?
I'm not. I'm not really that terrified of that because, like, again, like I went to school for writing,
Yeah,
and one of the things you have to do is you have to submit your stories to everybody in the class.
yeah.
And then you have to sit there and not say anything as they critique it.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to do that week after week after week. So, like,
Mhm.
after doing that, like, I don't really care that.
Yeah, I'm sure you get desensitized to it.
Yeah, it's like, okay, you don't like my story. I don't give a fuck. I don't know who you are.
Yeah, I took a few writing classes
You have something good to say?
in college, and yeah, I've had that done to me too. And it's like, yeah, you know what, whatever. You know, it's like your skin
Really?
gets hard.
Yeah, see, I've never done anything like that. This is the first time that anyone's going to be reading my writing. So it's pretty scary.
Well, you're gonna
Yeah, it can
experience
be
it.
scary, but like,
I'm gonna write
I'm sorry?
I'm gonna write a negative review about your story, Angel, just keep you grounded.
Toughen me up. Yeah.
Yeah, your username's gonna be Angel's mom.
Hey, yo, this shit sucks, bro.
You're like, why'd I make you? Ugh.
Oh, God.
Get a haircut, hippie.
You're one to talk.
Get a job. Get out of my house. Okay.
All right, we're getting too real, guys.
Get it to
No, yeah, I've never
Ugh.
taken any sort of writing classes. The closest thing is just watching Brandon Sanderson's lectures on YouTube.
Who?
You'll get a lot of that there.
You don't know who Brandon Sanderson is?
No.
Really?
He's a big fantasy writer,
He's a
huge
big
fantasy writer.
Let me look him up. What has he written that I would have heard of?
Stormlight Archive, Mistborn.
Oh, that sounds like a
Mistborn's the big one.
bunch of YA crap. Let me see. Brandon.
Yeah,
No, it's
actually.
like straight up fantasy.
Brandon
There is
Sanderson.
like YA versions. Because I used to work at Barnes and Noble, and I would see it in both sections. I'd be like, "What's going on
Yeah,
there?"
What was that
yeah.
like
I feel
working
like
at Barnes and Nobles?
Interesting, especially in New York. There's like been authors that like walk in and will like
oh,
just
that's
be like,
cool.
"Hey, you guys have my book?" And we're like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah, I'll sign it." "Oh, okay. Uh, I I wasn't here for this, but my old boss said that like Patrick Stewart walked in once
Holy shit.
to like
Holy.
buy something, and like he's like, "This is the only time I ever freaked out in my life. Like I've never like I don't give a shit about other people, but I saw Patrick Stewart and I'm like, oh, it's fucking Picard." Uh, I fucking met Tim Robbins there too. He was like buying like Scrabble, and it was like Pocket Scrabble. I'm like, what does Tim Robbins need with Pocket Scrabble at 7:30 at night? Like we're closing in half an hour.
He's trying to get that booty call, man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have
Only
something to
fucking
do after.
Scrabble.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm
I
doing
don't
the
know.
booty call just to play Scrabble, really.
Yeah, I'm looking at this guy's work. I've never. Oh wait. Oh no, he finished the Wheel of Time.
Yeah, he finished the Wheel of Time. He didn't write the whole thing.
I was gonna say, hey, a minute, I've heard of this. Speaking of the Wheel of Time, I want to get into it. Have you guys read it?
I've read the first book, and I really liked it, but I haven't
I've read
gotten into the second book yet.
I've read her. I've read Ursula K. Guin, but I have not read those books.
Yeah, I heard it's a commitment.
Yeah, there's like I think 16 books or something like that.
Jesus wept. There is
Most
a lot.
fantasy books are a commitment now.
Yeah.
The Eye of the World.
Like every fucking fantasy book that comes out, it's like this is one of 12 planned books, and you're like, how?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's like 12 books in the first series, and then there's a sequel series.
And there's 4 spin-offs. And
Yeah.
spin-offs to those spin-offs. And then there's a graphic novel series.
And then a prequel TV
Yeah.
show.
Oh yeah, and we have the soundtrack coming out too. And follow the TikTok.
Only on vinyl.
Oh dude, okay, speaking of fantasy, what's with have you noticed that, and Seth, you might have noticed this working at Barnes and Nobles, a lot of covers fucking suck for these books.
Yes. I hate like
Yeah,
a
they're
lot of fantasy art covers.
yeah, a lot of that's just because like they want you to look at a book and understand the genre like
Mhm.
real quick. Like that's all they care about. They don't really care about what's going on in the book.
Oh yeah.
They don't really care about any other themes or anything. They're just like, if you look at this cover and it's like brown, you're like, okay, that's fantasy. So I'm going to grab fantasy. You see this a lot in romance. Like you see, like,
Mhm.
just look at any romance cover,
Mhm.
and you're
Yeah.
like, okay, I know what type of romance that one is. That one is like the straight up, I'm like gangbangs all over the place romance.
Fabio on the
This
cover.
is like this is like, oh, I have this feeling for this boy, but I don't know if he likes me type of romance.
Mhm.
Like,
Um,
they're all just meant to like, so you can quickly look at them and go, okay, I know what that is. Toss it in my bag.
But like,
yeah.
if you look at what Q did for the first Old Universe book, that cover is clean, it's slick, and it's intriguing. But then you look at stuff from other science fiction and fantasy books, and I'm just like, this looks like just dog shit. I'm pretty sure I've overlooked a lot of good books just because of the cover.
Actually, yeah. I feel
Yeah.
like anything that has like real people, or if it has a movie adaptation and it has like the actors, or it says like Netflix on it, I'm just like I'm not interested anymore.
Movies and video games are the worst with that.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
looking at modern movie posters, like modern like video game covers,
Mhm.
fucking terrible.
Oh yeah.
It's all
Every
like
movie
here's
poster is
just a
now.
picture of the white main character on
Yeah.
the front, and you're like, okay, that's it.
Yeah, they're very boring now. It's just especially for movies, they're just like, "Oh, here's our 3 biggest actors that are in this movie." And it's just
They
their
weren't in the
faces.
same room, but we'll put them next
Yeah,
to each other, like took a picture, but like they've never even talked to each other apparently.
exactly.
If you look at that fucking poster.
Yeah, I like the Old Universe book cover because it's very evocative of like Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, Dune.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's the benefit of like something smaller like a Forbidden Origins.
Echoes is nice too.
Like whereas if Penguin published it, it might look different, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they tend to use a lot of 3D models on their covers too. Have you guys noticed that?
Uh, really?
Forbidden Origins?
No. Like a lot of fantasy and sci-fi books, they use like these weird three. Like I think Tor does this. They use like 3D models. Tor
Mm.
book
Yeah.
covers.
Let me look this up because I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Yeah, I think I'm getting it. I think I see that more
3D
with
model book
sci-fi
cover.
than
There you go. It's
fantasy.
more of a sci-fi thing. Yeah. Like the publisher. I don't know. It's just it irks me. It's a really dumb irk because
I've been.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
no, good.
I was just gonna say I've been seeing some controversies with some books using like AI art covers.
I've seen that too.
Yeah, and
That would make
honestly,
sense. Like
I
I
kind of
doubt.
agree because
Yeah.
it's not only like AI art sucks and it's bad for artists and stuff, but it's also just ugly. It just doesn't look good half the time.
Yeah, AI doesn't like understand things. Like it can
Yeah,
just spit out what you think you would like based on what you type into it, but it doesn't quite understand what you want.
The
yeah,
only
it's just
time I've
very
used
uncanny.
AI was to get some like references down for artists to like draw my characters. That's about it. Like I can't see using it for like a full comic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, no, I think that's
Yeah,
how it
that's
should
like
be
one of the
used, right?
only yeah, that's like one of the only benefits I hear from other artists is like, yeah, sometimes I use it for reference, but
Yeah,
like everything else is kind of like whatever.
Yeah, when Armani drew my character Volt, the pictures I sent him were all like AI generated reference art, and then he just basically
And you can
pick and
tell,
chose.
but
Yeah. You could tell like the hands are messed up, elements of the face. But basically he pick and choose and chose like what he thought looked cool from like the suit designs and stuff like that, and then you guys saw it. So
yeah,
yeah, it can be helpful from like that angle, but if it's like you're trying to pitch it as the end product, like people can tell. I
yeah.
feel like people will know. Sora sounds fucking terrifying.
Oh, I know, dude. I've been
Have you
seeing
heard
those
it
videos on
about that
Twitter.
shit?
oh yes, I've seen
Oh my
that.
god, that shit's
Yes.
gonna be so bad. Like the amount of like protesters gonna get arrested for shit like that, like
Yeah.
all the revenge porn like people are gonna make. Oh my
Oh
god,
my goodness, I hadn't even thought about that.
it's gonna be so scary.
I wonder if any wars are gonna start because of it.
Dude,
I
actually, that's a
guarantee.
big possibility. Yeah, it's actually scary how rapidly AI is progressing.
Skynet's coming.
It's like one of those Jurassic Park things.
Yeah.
Speaking of Jurassic Park, you know
Skynet.
they're trying to bring back the mammoths.
Oh, I heard about this.
In
What do you
real
guys think
life?
about that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
something
in
to do
real life.
with it helping the climate, which I can kind of see it.
Sure, why not? I don't,
That's probably the
I
only
don't know,
like
like
good clone thing we can bring back that won't like immediately murder us all.
Yeah.
yeah, because like even I don't know, like that always bothered me about the Jurassic Park premise, and like as an adult, I'm like, oh no, I get it now. But like back then, I'm like, we have zoos. Why would we have zoos? So like, why would Jurassic Park be a problem? We have zoos. Like, so no, I don't see a problem with bringing back a mammoth. You know how like cloning is done though? Like people clone animals.
No, do you?
It's fucking probably it's pretty disgusting. So like people will like clone other animals, like dogs or something, and they're like, I want the perfect dog. So like they'll impregnate like a dog with like the cloning materials. That dog will give birth,
Mhm.
and like if it's fucked up, they'll just kill it and try again. So,
Oh.
so like it's fucking, it's nasty. It's disgusting, kind of.
Yeah, I've heard about people
So
like
I wonder
cloning
what
their
that process
dogs.
is gonna be.
Probably has something to do with
Yeah.
elephants.
Yeah. So like, are they just going to keep killing the pseudo mammoths until they get the
Oh,
mammoth? Like, is that
yeah,
what's
maybe.
They're gonna
is that
3D
what
they're
that
they're gonna
process is like?
they're gonna 3D print the mammoth.
Yeah.
They're gonna bake it in the oven. You're gonna hear the
Oh
ding.
god. Get like one of those easy bake ovens. So like, yeah, just toss a fucking mammoth in there, bro.
Yeah.
Kitty.
I wonder if we're gonna have human
Stop lying.
cloning happen.
I feel like it's inevitable.
Human.
Do you think that might be like a rights
Most
violation?
technology is now, right?
Uh,
A lot of people don't care about human rights, you know that.
That's true.
yeah,
If it doesn't immediately affect you, then like why give a
yeah,
shit?
exactly. I feel like it.
Fucking Elon
Surely it's
Musk
being
already put
done,
a
right?
chip in somebody's brain, right?
Oh my god,
Oh
dude! I
yeah, the
saw that.
Neuralink stuff.
I saw that, and someone wrote. They retweeted it, and like this is the notes you find in in like a Resident Evil 4 level. Like the way he wrote it out. It's like,
Yeah, like
oh
the origin.
yeah. I'm like, oh my god, Elon Musk is such an idiot.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
I
Yeah,
can't
I
wait for
just saw
his.
a
But
tweet
like
that was
that's
saying that like the person with it was able to like control like a computer mouse or something with just their brain.
That is pretty sick, though.
That's pretty cool, but it's kind of creepy.
It is.
yeah, that's pretty good for like disabled people, but I know that in our society it will not be used for that.
Yeah, it'll
Like,
be used for the worst possible things.
because I am all the way into transhumanism. I'm like, yeah, give me a fucking robot arm. But you know, if like I get a robot arm, then I'm gonna have to have I'll get a manual labor job, and then that job will be like, you have to have a robot arm, and I'm like, okay, I got a robot arm, and it's like you got to have the robot arm deluxe. If you don't have that, we'll fire you. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh fuck, I don't have robot arm deluxe. I can't afford robot arm deluxe. You're giving me 10 cents an hour, and so it's just
Literally
gonna be,
cyberpunk.
yeah, we can't like live in a world where like any of this technology is beneficial, which is what
Right.
like AI could do a lot of good things,
Yes.
Yeah, I was just about to mention that. Like,
but not right now.
nope. Only
They-
being used to take artists out of work.
They gotta regulate it because I know the only. It was basically running amok until the Super Bowl. When did you guys see what happened with Taylor Swift?
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
heard about it.
All the AI porn that was made of her, and like she threw a hissy fit, which I mean, yeah, I get it. Like I would be pissed too. I can
Yeah.
guarantee you now, she has to have talked to somebody in the government. I feel like they have to like start regulating it now. You know?
Oh yeah, she definitely has like
I
that
think
sort
they
of
s-
pull.
Yeah, like I think they were like actively talking about it once that happened to her. Like they were posting like videos and stuff like that. Like we can't allow this to happen, and like they
Yeah.
shouldn't. But it's been going on for years, and you didn't say shit about it until a billionaire got it. You know?
Exactly.
Exactly.
But that's what it takes. Sadly enough.
Yeah.
Yep.
Man,
Disgusting.
I was promised really cool cyberpunk shit when I was like 10 after watching The Matrix and stuff like that. So I'm kind of like sad we don't have that.
Right.
But at the same
We're getting the
time,
worst parts of it.
yeah, we're getting the worst timeline in regards to that. We are in a
The most
cyberpunk
boring
dystopia.
timeline.
Yeah.
It's like we're getting all the bad stuff and none of the cool stuff.
I do feel like that would be a very intense, disgusting world, though, given what we've seen from like Cyberpunk and Blade Runner.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, it's definitely glorified and
those
like
are-
romanticized. But
Yeah. Like,
Yeah, it's all like very per capitalist. So like maybe if we get rid of that capitalist part, then maybe something.
yeah.
The same.
yeah, I agree with Johnny Silverhand.
These
Burn it all
corporals
down.
have taken too much from us.
These damn corpos. I'm looking at you, Eric.
They
I'm
killed
looking
my
at you,
dog.
Armani.
Our corpo overlords.
We're starting a
Oy,
revolution.
oy, oy.
We're gonna unionize.
Yeah, we're gonna overthrow Forbidden
Yeah,
Origin.
fuck you, Armani. Nah. He'd probably be down for that, honestly.
Wait, you're not supposed to be revolting with us.
He's like, yeah, fuck me. He's like, wait, what? Oh, Zaddy, what are you doing here?
Me.
Thanks.
Yeah, we bought ourselves.
Okay, all right. So, question: Madam Web.
Okay.
Anybody watch it?
No, who-
No, I've been seeing
Who's
clips on
watching
TikTok,
that?
but I haven't watched the whole thing.
I watched it
It's a
on
movie
Facebook.
with the worst two Spider-Man characters. Why would anybody watch it?
Oh, there's
And I
two
heard
reasons
there's
why.
only. Go
Well,
ahead.
Why?
well, it's one person, but two reasons why. Sydney Sweeney. That's about it.
Okay. Of course.
That's her That's a girl in
That's with
it.
no one.
No, so I watched it on Facebook. I'm a part of a Facebook group that like basically illegally streams it, I guess, like movies. And
Okay.
and I watched it because I didn't want to give it any money. I'm like, yeah, this is terrible. Who greenlit this shit? It's so bad, bro.
It's actually as bad as people are
Who's it
saying.
for?
The investors. The investors.
The corpos.
The corpos. Yeah, that's another reason why we gotta kill them all. Anyways,
Yeah.
no, yeah, I
Oh, dude,
watched.
did you see the fucking Batman Beyond shit?
Yes, I saw that.
Oh, I did see that.
Ah, how
Hopefully James
fucking
Gunn convinces
fucking
them.
shit, dude.
I think we're gonna get that. I fully believe we're gonna either get that or a live action movie or TV show from James Gunn, Batman Beyond.
Yeah,
We
probably.
have to. Batman Beyond. I had an idea for Batman Beyond, and it was basically like Kristen Stewart was going to be Terry McGinnis.
Wait,
That
Twilight
was
Kristen Stewart?
my fan casting. Was like, yeah, I was like, you know who would be really cool? Terry McGinnis, fucking Kristen Stewart.
Why? Wait, hold on. Where's the logic with this coming from?
Yeah, please explain.
Yeah,
Have you seen like her post Twilight?
yeah.
Both her and fucking Robert Pattinson. Yeah, like both of them are like fantastic actors, and like both of them like kind of, I feel like they can survive in like that Tim Burton-esque like Gotham like world.
Mm-hmm.
And like the idea would be, all right, well, she works in a Tim Burton type world. Batman 89, he would be old Bruce, and then she would just basically be Terry. That was my thought process. That was my entire thought process.
Oh, so you really want to piss off the internet then?
Yeah, I don't really care about them.
Same.
My whole thing was like, I just want to see her in that suit, like kick ass. That was my whole thing. Like a queer icon, Kristen Stewart.
Speaking
Actually,
of the
have her
Seeing
suit,
her now, I could kind of see it.
speaking of the suit, would you guys want like a skin tight thing like the TV show, like the cartoon, or something kind of more tactical?
Nah, skin tight.
Yeah, I think
Gotta
the
be.
skin tie is like iconic, you know.
Because I don't know, the one design that really grew on me that I really like now is the one from Arkham Knight, the Batman Beyond suit.
Where
that
he
one.
like,
Oh, that one actually looks pretty cool.
where he's like fucking bulky because it's Arkham Batman.
Yeah, but if you look at the actual suit design, it looks really nice. Have you seen it, Seth?
It does. It does. Yeah. Yeah, I love those games. Those games
Yeah.
are fantastic.
I'd want something like that. Wait, so you'd want Michael Keaton to be Old Man Batman?
Yeah, he'd be. Yeah,
Yeah, I can see that.
but then like
That's
the fucking Flash ruined that shit. So like that's never gonna happen.
Yeah.
No, I can see him doing that. I can see them doing that. It's a different universe.
Yeah, I'm
Actually,
not sure
yeah,
if they
'cause
will though.
No,
James Gunn has said that he wants to do a lot of like Elseworld stuff where it's like not connected to all the other ones. So maybe.
Yeah, Michael Keaton's kind of down for anything if you give him like a bag of cash. So I feel like he would go back to doing it.
he showed up in Morbius. So I
He
think
showed
you're
up in
right.
fucking the Flash. So.
Oh my god. Okay, so now that we're on DC talk, what are your guys' hopes for James Gunn's DC universe?
At this point, I'll take anything. DC has been so lackluster these past like what 10 years.
Hey man, Man of Steel was
Yeah,
That's
I
what I
want
keep hearing. from you.
superheroes to save people. Again. And I feel like most superhero media doesn't have superheroes saving people.
Honestly.
You know, like, so I want to see Superman like run around and like saving cats out of trees and like picking like helping a grandma go across the street. Like I want shit like that.
I think we're gonna get that with
And
James
I think
Gunn.
he kind of understands that.
Yeah.
I
think-
want to see Robin. But Dick Grayson Robin, not Damian Wayne.
I know that's the one thing that kind of
they need to
Yeah. Go ahead, Seth.
do a Nightwing because like
Yeah.
the amount of people that thirst over Nightwing, they're like losing money every day by not like
Right?
making a Nightwing movie.
Such an easy cash grab. I saw this YouTube video where this guy like wrote basically like a fan movie of Nightwing, and it was actually really cool. So now I really hope they do a Nightwing movie.
They should. He's like the most popular like sidekick, like in
Exactly.
or like sidekick turned hero. So
You know what I'm hoping for? The Batman sequel. Maybe it doesn't have to be in like the sequel, but I'm hoping that the Court of Owls show up, because I feel like Robert Pattinson's Batman would be a really good foil
yeah.
to them. I feel like they work in his universe.
Yeah.
yeah, especially with the themes of that first movie about the rich and stuff like that. Like, yeah, underground secret society made of rich people like controlling Gotham.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's no way they
Definitely
don't
works
bring
for
up
like
Court of
something as
Owls.
gritty as that. Yeah.
I hope they do. He said that he wants to do that, so I hope they take that into account.
Oh, then probably yeah.
Did they already say what the second one was going to be about? I can't remember.
I don't think so.
I feel like they started casting villains, but I can't remember who they casted.
I know that Dave Bautista wants to play Bane, not in that series, but in whatever James Gunn's going to be doing with the DCU. I know that
Ooh,
much.
That would actually be cool.
Uh,
Drax as Bane.
I could see it. He's big enough.
Yeah.
that makes
Yeah.
sense. And he definitely wants to like work with James Gunn some more.
Oh yeah.
And he clearly does good in superhero movies.
I think most of the Guardians are going to show up in the DCU.
You think so?
Yeah.
Oh, actually, yeah, probably.
Yeah, aside from like Chris Pratt, like yeah,
He'd be a good Booster Gold.
maybe even Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt's Booster Gold is actually genius.
Yeah, he'd be a very good Booster
That
Gold.
makes sense. That is
Doesn't he have a
pretty
Booster
close
Gold
to
movie
Star
planned?
Lord, though, right?
Yeah, he kind of is pretty close.
I mean, in all honesty, at this point, Chris Pratt pretty much like has been playing Chris Pratt for the past couple movies he's been in. So
Yeah, actually, though.
Yeah, yeah. Booster Gold, fucking Blue Beetle 2 movie.
Do you think we're gonna get Cholo back as Blue Beetle?
I liked that
Uh,
movie.
I thought it was cool.
Probably.
I liked it all right. Yeah, yeah, and it'd be cool to see a Ted Kord in that universe. I want to know what he's like, because I think that movie ends with them saying Ted Kord's alive.
Yeah, some comedian
Wow,
is
But I
supposed to
could
play
be
him.
wrong. And Ted Kord is like, yeah, like Ted Kord's like Booster Gold's best friend. So
Did you
Who would you cast as Ted Kord?
Ted Kord? They chose Ted Kord kind of unofficially. Let
Oh,
me
did they?
see. Yeah, let me see. There's an actor. You know who I'm talking about. Once I bring him up, let me see. Where is it? Seth, go ahead. While I look this up.
go ahead. What with with his casting?
Yeah, who would you cast
I
as Blue
don't know.
Beetle?
I'm pretty bad with like casting on the spot. Let me see. Kristen Stewart. How about?
Kristen
Again?
Stewart,
Nah.
Ted Kord.
Everything's Kristen Stewart.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's been my fan cast for everything. It's like, you know who would be a good Spider-Man 2099? Kristen Stewart.
Kristen Stewart.
Like what?
I'm trying to see Kristen
Ah.
Stewart as Bane.
Kristen Stewart is Doctor Doom.
He'd have to be like. Yeah. I feel like John Krasinski, like 20 years ago, would have been a good Ted Kord, but
Oh yeah, actually.
not anymore. Well, maybe now, because I think he's supposed to be older.
What'd you guys think?
Yeah.
What'd you guys think of him as Reed Richards?
Yeah,
I think he
whatever.
was really good.
Like, I never really cared about that fan casting, but
I enjoyed
just
him.
I'm like, oh, okay, that's him.
I
Yeah,
enjoyed
I
it
feel like he
because.
was-
Oh, go ahead, Angel.
I feel like he had a lot of potential, and they kind of flopped with it.
I thought he embodied Reed very well.
Yeah. But I
Is
feel
Reed-
like the movie he was in was not the best.
No, it wasn't the greatest, but I will say that
Yeah.
whoever wrote him specifically did a very good job because
Yeah.
Reed's an arrogant dumbass. Like, he's super smart, but he's a fucking douche.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think he just a
He
little bit
just
that we
he
got.
thinks he's way smarter.
Yeah, no, like he is smart as shit, but he knows he's smart, and that's why he's a dick.
Yeah.
And I think they kind of got that. It's subtle, but it's there.
Uh-huh.
So-
Speaking of,
What
though,
was
what
it?
do you guys
There's a
think of
minute-
the new casting for the Fantastic Four?
I think Pedro's gonna kill it. I think he's gonna kill it.
You think so?
Yes.
I'm
think
kind of
that's a
iffy
very
about him.
interesting casting.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it.
I am super excited because I feel like Pedro Pascal can cook in whatever he's in, and if the script's good enough, the man has the acting chops. He'll be able to pull off the super smart but kind of a dick. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
what do
you know what?
I
I'll give
like
it a chance.
Vanessa
I'll definitely
Kirby.
watch it.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
I know she's gonna be
I
great.
think the Thing is kind of perfect. Ebon's pretty perfect casting
Cousin?
as the Thing.
You mean cousin? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I've been hearing. That he's
I
really
didn't
good.
watch Stranger Things, so I don't know
Really?
about the Flame On guy. But every clip I've seen, I'm like, that seems like a Johnny Storm, right?
Yeah, people were hating on that though on Twitter, and I'm like, are you guys stupid?
Oh,
Like,
I saw all that, dude. So much hate. I was like,
yeah,
I think it'll be okay. I think it'll be good.
oh, it's because he's not Chris Evans. That's basically what it is.
Yeah, people were saying he doesn't look the part, but
I'm like, no, he looks the
I'm
part.
not sure what that
yeah.
means. Because
Well,
like
they're just saying like, oh, he
my
doesn't look like Human Torch. It's like, bro, he's a dude. He's a young guy, you know.
Like,
yeah, my memory of Human Torch is like reading the '60s Spider-Man comics where both of
Mhm.
them are best friends sticking around.
mm,
And I'm like, yeah, that seems right, right? Like he's about
Yeah.
high school age in this or whatever. Maybe he's like 58. I don't know how old this actor is, but I don't know. That seems right.
I will say that I feel like that a lot of the not a lot of it, but a good fair bit of the hate for Pedro Pascal being cast was kind of had a racial undertone.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I'm
Yeah, that
saying?
was the first thing I thought when I saw the hate. Is like people are like
Yeah, you,
see that a non-white actor and they're like, oh, that doesn't look like the character or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you kind of have to have that expectation built in, like anytime
Yeah,
casting comes out.
unfortunately.
Yeah, it's sad.
It's like Pedro Pascal is brown, so you're gonna get this amount of haters. Okay.
Yeah.
I still think he's gonna kill it. You know, it's funny because someone was saying that it's a diversity casting, and I'm like, well, I mean, Disney basically confirmed that they do that, you know. But it's not like it's a bad thing. But someone brought up, Benny from the Comic Historian, and I totally agree with him that he was probably picked, not primarily, but a big reason why probably is because he's already under the Star Wars license. He already has a
Oh,
Disney
yeah.
contract, so it was probably super easy to get him into Marvel. You know what I'm
That's so
saying?
true. I didn't even think about that.
So that's
Yeah,
probably a big
happens quite a
factor.
bit.
Yeah. Plus, like I said, like I think we all know that the man can cook. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's also probably a factor too.
Yeah.
His acting
And
chops.
he's also just a
His
really
name's
big
big
actor
right
right
now.
now.
Yeah, he's super in demand.
Mm-hmm. After
Yeah, it's kind of like
the
safe in that way,
Black Widow
but
season.
no, that works.
And he might. I'm not trying to say I know everything, but like in regards to this kind of stuff, but I think he might be kind of cheap for them. Does that make sense? Because he's already been working with them, so I'm sure it's easy to negotiate with him what
Oh.
his contract's gonna be.
Yeah, probably.
I wouldn't be surprised if Vanessa Kirby is the only one with like high numbers in like her contract.
You think so?
Like I feel like she gets paid the most, and then Pedro, and then the other two like way below.
Oh, definitely, cousin
Like
and
that's
and what's his
that's
face?
what I'm
Yeah,
thinking.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
not, they're not gonna get nearly as much, but I think after this they're gonna get some pretty good pay bumps. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because like Vanessa Kirby's like in films. She's like in movies that have won Oscars, and like
Yes.
Pedro comes from TV,
He's more of the pop culture guy.
so that so that hits that's probably a discount for them.
Yes.
They're like, well, he's from TV. He's like working on our Star Wars shit. We can probably get him for a bit cheaper. And then like the other two are like, I don't know, I'm on FX.
Yes, actually, Netflix and FX.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna be a period piece.
it sounds like it's
Yeah.
gonna like the newspaper in the picture, like the really awesome piece of artwork that they put
Yeah.
out. Like, the newspaper in there said like 1963,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like basically confirmed that it takes place in the 60s.
And they're probably gonna do
and it's the WandaVision guy.
a time travel.
You think so?
I think so.
Either that or alternate dimensions, like one of those two.
Oh,
I could see something
I get
happening
him.
in space. Something's happening, probably gonna happen in space. They gotta go out to
Oh, for
fight it,
sure.
and then that's what causes them to either dimension hop or to time travel.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if you don't see them in the main universe until Secret Wars, and then they all get consolidated.
I could see that happening too.
Yeah, because like then you'll get the X-Men in there, recasted. Like after that, or maybe they'll pick and choose. They'll be like, well, I like this actor. I like Kelsey Grammer Beast, but I don't know.
I can't wait. I cannot wait. Uh, Angel, what do you think? We're at an hour.
I think we're good to call it.
Yeah. Seth, how you feeling?
Feeling pretty good. I can do whatever you guys want.
All right, Seth, you want to do Seth? Angel, you want to do the outro?
Yeah, I got it. All right,
No,
guys. Thank you
what
for
is
listening. Thank you for listening to episode 3 of Forbidden Radio. It was great having you on, Seth. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for taking the time.
no
Check out
problem.
Echoes of the Old Universe, February 26th. Sorry, I just cut you off. And
No, I said no problem.
yeah, I hope you guys all enjoyed the episode.
I
I
just
just
keep
cut you off
cutting
again.
people off.
God, my timing is horrible. I apologize, but yeah, I hope you all have a great day. Thank you for listening.
February 26th,
All right, love you.
2024. I love you more, Seth. I'll never stop loving you.
Oh, oh, me? Oh, me?
Oh my god. All right. Thank you guys for coming. Peace out.